Hello, welcome to Bike Trekking with Carl, and today we're going to talk about the Marin Gestalt. Yes, this is an all-purpose road bike, or gravel bike as all the cool kids like to be called today. There is a lot to discuss when it comes to this bike, and the fact I am not stood here with the bike right now may tell you all you need to know already. So without any further ado, let's get into this. Before we start talking about the Marin Gestalt, if you could please like, subscribe, comment, it really does help this new channel grow. So yes, let's do this. Let's talk about the frame. The frame is 6061 aluminium series 2, and that also goes for the fork. The bike has ample attachment points for panniers, racks, whatever you might want to add to it, as with any gravel bike, making it supposedly great for bike packing, or so the manufacturer claims. We'll get into that in a moment. The frame itself has a lovely glossy paint on it. Might not be to everybody's taste. It comes in black or blue. The design isn't really anything groundbreaking, it's tubular, but it does an excellent job of absorbing vibration. Now the geometry is geared more towards a relaxed riding style, more upright, for a gravel bike that is. So overall this is a bike you could technically do miles on and feel relatively comfortable. A quick mention for the seat. The seat's quite okay. There's nothing wrong with it. It's quite sporty, comfortable enough. Not bad. The tyres. Now the tyres are more road tyres than they are gravel bike tyres. I would expect something with a few more knobbles on it if it was going to be something for off-road. However, these tyres will do gravel just fine. I would say if it's rainy, muddy, then these tyres aren't going to cut it. So you might want to upgrade to something with a little bit more tread on it and something a little bit deeper, which the frame can certainly accommodate. So all good, yes? Well, not so fast. Let's start with the gears. This bike comes with a 2x8 drivetrain. This means the bike has a terrible ratio for hill climbing. I really noticed when I was doing hills on this bike that I had to put in more effort to get up them. There wasn't a gear I could drop down into so I could spin. Now if this bike's aimed towards beginners, or maybe people who don't cycle quite as often, or even people who want to do bike packing, the lack of decent low hill gears is a real issue. You're going to find if this bike's fully loaded with a tent, you're going to be getting off and pushing, or maybe if you're not quite as fit, or maybe if you're like me, somebody who's quite overweight. I've dropped a few pounds since then, thanks for noticing. But yeah, when I rode this bike, technically I was a beast. Now I'm just overweight, so that's good news, I think. So yes, the gears are unfortunately sadly lacking. So this for me puts it out of the realm of being suitable for bike packing. And if you live somewhere really hilly, then maybe not great for you either. The next thing I'm going to start picking on is the brakes. The brakes are Tektro single piston mechanical brakes, and quite frankly, they are not good enough. The brakes themselves, because they work with a one piston actuation, have a very inefficient method of gripping the disc. That means that it has a very long stopping distance. Now I bought this bike with my own money and I really wanted to like it. I gave it every chance I could. I even cycled the bike around my local estate, going slowly downhill while applying the brakes to try and bed them in to kind of coat those discs and give it a chance to actually start working. Then I thought, well, I'll just take it on a ride and see if maybe I'm being a bit oversensitive to the whole thing, because I have been spoiled by hydraulic brakes, but also because I am of a certain age, well over 40, I have spent a lot of my life riding mechanical brakes, and I had a bike till very recently, which has never appeared in any of my videos, that has rim brakes on it, which are mechanical, and that stops for me just fine. So these brakes really, in comparison, they just never got to where they should be. Now I have my suspicions the company that I bought the bike from had not calibrated the brakes correctly, being single piston. But even then, once you adjust these brakes and get them to where they work maybe potentially okay for a while, once they wear down, you're going to be back in the same position because a single piston disc brake cannot self-correct, which is a whole other video. So overall, the brakes aren't good enough and the gears aren't good enough. The bike itself, the price is around about £850. I'll put it on the screen here. It can be found on sale at some points. However, at this price point for what you're getting, I just think this bike is overpriced for what it is. It's not going to be suitable for bike packing. It's not going to be suitable, in my opinion, for anybody who lives in a hilly area. And say you do live in a flat area, even then, for the money, you could get something that's much, much better. So I unfortunately would not recommend this bike. It's just not good enough, frankly. And as I said, I bought this with my own money. I intended to keep it and I returned it. Now, the company I bought it from online, Treads, the whole return process there, a nightmare. I have a video coming out on that shortly, which gets really spicy. So tune in for that if you're interested. So yes, that is my review of the Marin Gestalt. So if you enjoyed that, please leave a like, a comment. I'd love to know your opinions on the bike. Now, our opinions may vary. You may have this bike and love it. If so, let me know down below why you love this bike so much and what it is you think that's so good about it. Because at the end of the day, it's all subjective. However, I just don't feel braking performance and gearing is appropriate on this bike. Okay, well, thank you very much for watching and I will catch you on the next one. Okay, thank you very much. Bye-bye.